right, go.
I've started recording.
Cool. All right then. So welcome everyone to Grand Awakening, and I have a guest, a lovely guest with you today. The most beautiful, gorgeous, funny, courageous. What else have we got? All the other talents.
You're
All
so
right.
sweet.
She's the knower. Her ability is knowing. She knows lots. All right. So I'm just gonna obviously introduce you. Karen is someone that I met in the groups through synchronicities and through kind of vibration frequency matched through messages and stuff like that. And then I was actually told that Kaz is going to be someone influential in my life. I was going to help in some way, and we're going to do some good things together. Maybe lots of good conversations. But if you just introduce yourself a little bit, Kaz, about you, what it is you do, and then we can talk more about your, a little bit more about your story. But what is it what you're doing at the moment? Like, what you've got a few channels and stuff like that. Just tell people a bit about yourself.
My name is Karen, but everyone calls me Kaz. I'm a soul center healing hypnosis practitioner based in Cambridge. But
Can
all
you
the
say that again?
hypnosis, can you not hear me?
Can you repeat that? Just because I've kept butchering it this morning, and I want to hear it again from your lips.
Oh, soul center healing hypnosis.
Brilliant. All right, sorry, go on.
You've thrown me off now.
No, I was just joking. I was just joking. Sorry,
So
go
I'm
on.
based in Cambridge, but all the hypnosis sessions I do are online. So I see people from all over the world. And what we do at the beginning of the session, this is what is different from QHHT. At the beginning of a session, we scan the body and heal any trauma, any stuck emotions,
Yeah.
remove any entities and spirits that we find attached to bodies before we take them into a past life or parallel life, really, because it's all happening at
Now.
the same time.
Yeah.
And you're just tuning into another aspect of yourself that's having a different experience somewhere else in the universe, or
Which is
maybe even a different universe.
which is quite amazing, isn't it? What's the difference between the two? Between like both methods of like what you said before. Is it QH2? What's
QHHT. Well,
yeah?
that's
What?
the main difference. The main difference is that we do this bit at the beginning, the healing part, which QHHT doesn't do. It just takes you into the parallel life bit.
That's
But
brilliant.
what we've found is that if people that can't go into that life or find it difficult, it's usually because there's something stuck in their body, not
So
allowing them to go through to the parallel life.
how do you do that then? What's the sort of uh, or how did you learn to do this anyway? Like how we'll talk about your awakening story and stuff a little bit, but like I'll tell you what, we'll go back to that. Right. So what was it?
Mm.
What was the thing that sparked your awakening? What was like, was there a moment or something, or did it come during a particular period? Because what I wanted to try and portray across to the masses was just that all of us are having our different experiences, and we're all awakening in our own unique ways. So I know, obviously, we speak, so I know you a bit, but it'd be really great. How did because yours is really different to mine. How you awakened? Like, what was the main trigger?
Well, my whole life I've known there was something wrong here. I know you said this is something similar.
Yeah.
I just couldn't put my finger on what it was. And yeah, there was just lots of different reasons for that. And then in 2020, when I heard the word lockdown, I just had a massive download and knew this is why I was here. This is what I just knew there was just a deep knowing. And I say to people, we're just remembering,
Yeah.
we're going through a remembering. So, yeah, I just remembered all at once. It
That's
was
quite
very
phenomenal.
strange. I think it's actually happened to a lot of people. I think a lot of people would probably comment on this video that they had a similar experience.
It's weird because I get down. I've like you said, with mind like a knowing, like we discussed earlier actually before this, but there is just a knowing as such. But did you actually have? It's kind of weird. Did you have flashbacks to past lives and stuff as well, or was it more just an understanding as why, oh, you're here for a reason, sort of thing?
Well, what I've come to learn is through the work that I do is that we have had experiences in other places where this has happened before or something similar, and
Ah,
we're not going to do it again. And you can't. That doesn't pop into your mind. Well, it didn't for me at the time, but it's something I've learned along my way. Um, so I would say the ones that are, I hate the term awakened. I hate it.
yeah,
But the ones that everyone
or
calls
woke.
awakened are we're old souls, and we've had experiences similar to this before. And the
We,
ones that are not as aware are younger souls having to go through this experience for their learning.
yeah, 'cause that's the way I see it. I just see it as uh, even to the point of like sometimes they might not even be younger souls. It might be they just had to learn that particular lesson. Like for example, I see it as maybe you was a multi-trillionaire in your last life, so you've had everything, right, and materialistically, and then your next one, you might be the poorest person in the world or whatever. So it's like your lessons are to do, you're learning that particular lesson, that you've chosen, because obviously from our experiences, it's quite obvious and clear, and this is just going by my own experience of things that I see in normal reality, is that everything happens for a reason. Like even if I've got free will to choose, things happen to it's too scripted. It's like, wow, like how's that happened? Like, and I see the lessons in everything now. Like like I said before, I can go back into the past and change my past by how I view my previous experiences, and that I know that they were actually for my benefit. Whereas at the time, I would play the victim and think that, well, why is this happening? Why is this against me? But I didn't see the lesson in it empowering you. Whereas now, I have problems pretty much every other day, and I just laugh at it, and there's always a solution that sort of pops up.
Mm.
But
I mean, none of it matters what happens in your day-to-day life at the end of the day. You're just here to learn and expand and take your wisdom with you onto the next place that we go to.
which is quite amazing. And did you feel uh is there any common, like from the work that you've been doing? I've got like a few questions for you as well. Um, is there like a most common thing that you've picked up on from all your sessions with people? Like, is there anything that you can say where it's a common thread amongst all the people you're doing the work on, but it's really sort of an inspiring thing to help people, Because obviously my main thing was, okay, we don't die from, like from my experiences that helped me understand that we're eternal. Like we've done this many times and we're going through this experience, over and over. And again, even in this life, this next one might be completely different, might not even be, in this form or whatever it is. Is there something that you felt was a common thread like that would be a good message for people that you've got from your sessions?
To help people through this time we're going through,
Oh,
it's
amazing.
so simple. It's healing yourself and connecting with nature. It's always just nature, 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 nature. Nature has all the answers we need, and it's so simple. I mean, I think when a lot of people kind of start this awakening process, they think they've got to meditate 20 times a day, and they've got to go
Oh
out and
yeah.
buy loads of crystals, and they've got to do all these different things to be spiritual.
Yeah.
All you need to do is heal yourself, look inside, heal all that crap that you're carrying around, and tune into nature, because nature connects you to earth, who connects you to source, and it's just so simple. It's really that simple.
I think that's the beauty, isn't it? That how simplistic. this experience. It's so, I think we've discussed this before. It's so overcomplicated with information. Oh, information.
Distractions.
Yeah, yeah. You could say all distracted. It's
Even
like,
even all a lot of the spiritual stuff is still a distraction. You're still wasting your time. You should be figuring out what you came here to do. And to do that, you need to heal yourself.
yeah.
And then as you heal all that darkness within yourself, you're just allowing more light to come in. I put a video up on my channel the other day with that title. It was just
Oh, the
um,
light. Yeah, I did
let the
see.
light in and the knowing shines through.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's all you're doing. If you heal all the darkness in you, more light just comes in, and you're just getting more in tune with yourself. You're getting more in tune with nature. You're getting more in tune with source. And yeah,
It's
it's
what
simple.
it's what saved me really. Like my from during the pandemic. Obviously, is when I had my like awakening. We need to think of a new phrase or something. We're gonna
Well, I'm calling it remembering because for me,
remembering.
that's what it feels like. I'm just
Yes, because I don't
remembering.
like these labels. Let's get away from all of these labels and everything that people. Because what you'll find is you jump into these spiritual circles and there's a label for everyone. Oh, you've got to do this. You've got to be this. And like you said, you've got to. Oh, you have to do this 20 times a day. No, you don't. You just do what you feel's right for you. We're all different.
Mhm.
We've all got our own techniques and stuff. Some people find meditating, sitting there, um, their best method going within and then getting their answers from source,
Yeah.
from their divine, the divine, their soul, connecting with their soul through meditation. But with me, I go for walks and I connect. I feed the birds that I'm around. Like I go to the local ecology park and I connect with the birds and things like that. I even communicate with the birds and stuff. I see the same birds every day, and they come up and say there was a one-legged pigeon once that used to keep visiting me every day, which was cool. And then I would connect that way, and I'd get my downloads, and I'd naturally, if I'd woke up feeling negative or I'd like negative energy or whatever it was, or negative thoughts about certain things, I'd walk like 3, 4 hours a day. I've
Mm.
stopped working. I'm more or less retired now because all of my jobs, all I've ever done is cause me stress, grief. I should have had multiple payouts through multiple jobs, through racism, bullying, all this different types of stuff, and I've literally just tried to help people. So I know that that's a bit of a trap, like anything that drains your energy or stops you from finding out who you are is a kind of distraction, isn't it, really? So, the game is to just discover who you are, and then that's it. You know you're eternal. You know that all this is for your benefit. You know that you've chosen to come here for this. So you've got nothing to be concerned about, no worries, nothing. Like once you get to that sort of point, but you'll always be tested, to see whether you do still have that faith. Like my faith's tested every other day. Like,
Mm.
do I still believe that everything's going to work in my favor when I'm threatened with homelessness? You know, estate agents coming around threatening me with violence, my job sabotaging my reputation and stuff because of ego and all these different things. It's like always a test. Oh, do you still love unconditionally, and do you still have the belief that everything's going to be all right? And I've got to that place now where I've had so much traumatic events where it's like, yeah, I can. I've done it. I've done it now. Like I've already experienced all of that stuff, and I know that I am protected and guided. Do
But
you?
you need to heal all that as well, or you just get shown the same lesson again and again and
Oh
again and
yeah,
again.
100%, 100%.
Um, yeah. Oh, I was going to say something else in the back of what you just said. And also, a lot of people plan these experiences for themselves as lessons to learn from.
Yeah, it's like
And you're like, oh my God, did I plan this? Um,
it's like that meme I sent earlier to the groups. It's like, or from one that come from like Lee, he's been posting some nice messages. And it was like, what? I agreed that or whatever in the soul contract.
yeah.
Because I'm like, why did I agree? Like now, because now I'm like, okay, I've agreed it all. Stop whinging about it. It's what I've chosen. I've come here to learn these lessons, so I just need to stop whinging and get on with it. And now things are more effortless. Like
Mm.
before, it's a bit of like bit of kickback, where you're like fighting against the experience and like, why has this happened? This is so annoying. My outcome, I intended this outcome and I got this outcome. And normally when that happens, it's just a lesson and something that I'm meant to learn.
And instead of looking at all those big things that are going wrong, I think it's important as well just to be grateful for those small things that you do have and just say thank you every day for those tiny things, whether it's a meal or
Mm.
being around friends or whatever it is. And you know what I've been doing recently that I found just makes me feel really good is just saying to the universe every day, how good can it get? How good
Ah,
how good can it get today?
that's lovely. I'm gonna write it down actually. How good, do
Write
you
it
know what?
down.
How
How
good
good
could
can
it
it
get? Because I
get?
say lots of how, uh, so this is a really good practice. Like if you want to, if we want to talk about spiritual practices or whatever, right, or things that are good, like the words that you use and the feeling of it as well. Like when you every day, if you wake up and you are like the cheat code is I am. All right. So every time you say I am, that's what you are. All right. So and if you're saying it with compassion and energy and like belief, I am strong, I am balanced, I am guided, I'm supported, I am strong, I am abundant in in love, happiness and freedom. These sort of things, they're powerful statements to say every day because that's what people don't understand is the negative words that we use and the kind of like the self-doubt and stuff like that we a lot of people say to themselves each day, and it's quite difficult, that people don't understand this. Like literally, the words and the thoughts that you say that enforces it. So once you reprogram your subconsciousness with the words that you use, it has a great effect on your life. And
It's a process though. It's really quite
yeah,
hard to watch your thoughts and change them. As a negative one comes in, just stop yourself and turn it. But it takes practice to do that. I'm still practicing that.
it's hard, isn't it?
But the words and thoughts and actually everything you do watch and listen to as well are really important.
Yeah,
So yeah, just pay attention to that. And when you see it coming up, just twist it, turn it something good.
be the alchemist is what we want.
Mm.
Because every situation which challenges you is trying to turn you into an alchemist. So flip everything into gold, like flip coal into gold. Every time you have a negative experience, go, okay, how can I flip this? What can I do to, I'm going to use positive affirmations in my head. What outcome do I want? This is the outcome that I want, and just put your beliefs into that. And
Mm-hmm.
like with your channel, so everyone, I'm gonna post all your links and stuff, obviously on my channel so people can find you and all your work and all your videos that you're doing. So do you, with your work, how often do you do that a week as well? Is that a full-time thing now?
It really depends. Some weeks are quieter than others. Some weeks are busy. I've got quite a busy couple of weeks coming up, and then it goes quiet and then gets busy. So it really all depends. But I have noticed I'm getting busier and busier as the years gone on. I guess the more people that become aware that they need the healing. And I think the great thing about the hypnosis is that your half of your mind is really still awake. You're in that theta brainwave state, which is the bit of your brain where you're waking up from sleep or going to sleep. We just keep you there. So
Mm,
you're conscious of what's going on,
mm,
but you're also you have your mind as like somewhere else. But what's good about it is you remember the techniques that I use in a session, and then you can start to use them yourself.
that's great.
And that's ultimately what I think we should all be able to do is heal ourselves.
So I mean, it's amazing that your work is actually healing and it's taking people back to, past life experiences and stuff, so that they're aware that there is a pattern, a design as to, to all this. What can you share any stories or anything from like like for example, are you
I
able to
have so
do that?
many. I have so many. I don't know
What,
where
all
to
right, what
start.
explain a fantastic like a past life that you just couldn't, you was just in awe of, like you was like wow, I can't believe you experienced that. Like
I mean,
just
I honestly love them all, even the ones that a lot of people would find a bit dull. I just love it. You know, if it's a past life, an ordinary life in Italy. But obviously, when anyone says, I'm a giant, I'm a mermaid, I'm an ET, I'm on a spaceship, anything like that, I'm like, okay, let's go.
get all excited.
But I do love them all because they all just show people what they need to see that day, which is also part of the healing, because there's lessons that you've carried through from other lifetimes you're living into this one now. And I think this is the time that where we heal all of that, because we can't take any of it with us.
Yeah. I'm hoping I'm going to end up, well, we're going to forget next time again as well. I kind of hope, and with that knowledge, is it like we're an upgraded version of ourselves from our previous lifetimes because we've got still carrying information out, things that lessons that we've learned from your sessions? Do you feel like people have advanced, like the next life? Are they carrying the same information across? Like they might not be aware of it as such, but it might just be something that's more within where, like they're
Well,
more aware.
you definitely carry the wisdom, like we were saying earlier, just that deep knowing that we have. You know, you tune into that, but then you do need to do the healing as well to um, kind of level up in this lifetime. That's the most important thing: is that you look at your shadow, you look at your inner child, you look at all the traumas that you're carrying, even like things like pushing down emotions. If you swallow down emotions, I've had clients with physical issues in their stomach, kidney stones. All that is related to swallowing down emotion and
Mm.
not looking at it and healing it. It can cause physical bodily symptoms. So it's healing all that as well. As soon as you heal that trauma and emotion, you'll find your body starts to heal.
And that's a really important, because it's like what we were saying. I said it on our last interview anyway, about me being sick for 5 months was because of my faults. Basically, even though it was other people that were affecting me as such, their behaviour, um, but I was taking it personal, and then I was allowing that negative energy to kind of just grow, and then I was really sick, like to the point where I was dying. And I had to heal myself through my faults, through detoxing, fasting, things like that. And I realized I didn't really even need food. Like I was just learnt so much from it. So from your sessions, then you can say that people are affected by their health is affected by their faults as such, and that's a main element to these diseases and stuff.
It's just definitely one aspect. Obviously, you've got food, you've got radiation, you've got stress, and yeah, healing the body from trauma and emotion. It's all one thing. That's what causes dis-ease.
Mm,
It's a combination of all of those things. And the healing journey isn't just going for hypnosis,
mm,
it's all of it. And the
mm,
hypnosis is just one aspect. But when you start on this journey of healing yourself, it's just layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. It just keeps coming. You know, you think you've healed that bit and then something else comes up. And it's like a continuous journey. But I think it's great. There's so many healers out there and so much information on
mm.
how to do all this work now. Do you know what I mean? It's not complicated.
That's the beauty of it, isn't it? It's all very simple, but it takes a lifetime of problems, I suppose, for us to reach that
Yeah.
point.
But your body does heal itself. Your body wants to heal itself if you give it the right food and the right care and attention. You know, so there is hope for the future. I think amazing things concerning people's health and healing.
Definitely, because this is the fundamental. I tell you what, we're gonna. I think we're gonna have to do another recording for you. I think, Kaz, because I'm
We're
sure there's
running
like,
out of time, aren't we?
yeah, there's so many questions that I want to ask you. I mean, I've got loads here anyway. Um, but the health part's brilliant. So the healing, so that really does show that it's all connected. Like it's all part of the lessons. It kind of does matter what food you eat, but it's also the importance of, if you say what I was doing, I was saying I was eating food that I knew wasn't the best, but I was going, oh, this is really bad for me, so I was making it worse. So your fault. You can transmute a lot of things as well by you put positive intention into everything you're doing. Always bless your food, no matter what you're eating, whether you're eating a, a burger or whatever, just always bless it and, say thank you for, especially the nutrients that you get from it.
And
But
remember, with like 60% water or whatever it is, depending on your age, and water has memory and frequency and vibration within it. So if you talk to your body and you say nice things to it, that will have a good effect on your body too through the water. And drink
yeah,
clean
that's
water
amazing.
if you can.
I do that in the shower. I use it to heal me in the shower and stuff like that. I always, literally, you live in your imagination. Like, use the words that are powerful, that are, say the words of the person that you want to be. Like everything that you want to be, you say it, you replicate, you constantly communicate it with yourself, inside yourself, all day long, and you live in that. You live in that bubble. Like you're creating your reality through your own thoughts.
Mm.
But we're going to have to wrap up. I think we've got less than a minute. Um, I think I think we'll do another session as well because there's loads of questions that I wanted to ask you. Um, what would you think's the most important part of what you do, like your job? Like, I suppose the healing element of it, like, do you see people change as well from these sessions?
Yeah, either instantly after a session, or I just get emails like weeks, months later saying that this is greatly improved. So yeah, that's always really good. But sometimes it's
Oh,
like instant as soon as people wake up, or they just their bodies feel lighter,
yeah,
you know.
that's
So yeah,
amazing. I think it's going to cut out anyway, the recording, but thank you. I've got a million questions. You're wonderful. You're amazing.
that went so quick. Thank
It
you,
really
Michael. That was
did.
great.